Hi, my name's Lisa Beyer, and I am the founder of Female Disruptors, and welcome to another session. So you are in the She CEO, Leadership is Your Love Language category. And I have with me today, Holly Duckworth, and Holly is a mindfulness and business coach. And I'm gonna let her give you a little bit more about her background, but she is here to tell us, we're gonna talk about what exactly is mindfulness and how to go from chaos to calm. But first, Holly, tell us a little bit about your background and your journey and how you came to where you are today.
Well, Lisa, thanks for having me, and thanks for doing this conference for women disruptors, and women supporting those folks. By way of a tweet, my life has always sort of been in this disruption phase. Early on in my career, I was in meeting and event conference planning, moved over to association leadership. That's nonprofits, organizations that support professions, and 6 years ago now, I got an advanced degree in mindfulness and all of those things, sort of seeing the future before it was happening. And now, in addition to my for-profit work, Leadership Solutions International, speaking and coaching, I'm also the founder of the American Mindfulness Association, where we're bringing ethics and credentialing professionalism to mindfulness in the workplace. So, as women leaders, as She CEOs, my work is always at that intersection of utilizing all the great data that we're getting now from technology and those intuitions, the things you just know that you know and you don't always know why that you know, and bringing those into creating better decisions as women leaders as we do continue to reinvent and sometimes disrupt the world at work to create better outcomes.
Yeah. And so, yeah, we're really getting into how to be a mindful leader. So if we're going to talk about how to be a mindful leader, what exactly is mindfulness? We hear this word kind of being now, it's just a catch-all word, I feel like, and trending in Google for the past 5 years. So how do you define mindfulness?
Well, it's a great place to start, Lisa. As you said, it when I was first teaching workplace mindfulness, it was that woo-woo stuff. Can we talk about it at work? We're not sure if we can talk about it at work. And with the work of John Kabat-Zinn, many neuroscience scientists and researchers, mindfulness has moved into the mainstream. Of course, it hit all that pandemic energy. And now the most agreed upon definition of mindfulness is that mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment without judgment. And that definition comes from John Kabat-Zinn. And now founded in neuroscience, we know that maybe multitasking isn't so much of a thing, but really truly monotasking, being fully present like you and I are here on this class, is bringing better outcomes. But it's not just about being more present with others. It's first, you got to be more present to yourself and allowing yourself that moment to breathe, get centered, calm before that staff meeting, before that big sales meeting, so that you are bringing a sense of calm into a world on the outside that might be chaotic. And we know the more that we can be calm and present, the better decisions we make, the better we connect to one another and create better businesses as a result.
I mean, I'm definitely an example of kind of a before and after, and I kind of fluctuate before and after, practicing mindfulness. And, it used to be more on trend to multitask and how many things can you get done at once in a half hour, and being present and multitasking really aren't in the same sentence or even like possibility. So it's hard. We almost have to retrain ourselves. If we've been in the professional world for, let's say, more than 5 to 10 years, the hustle and the multitask was the way everybody said that they called success.
Well, Lisa, I'm grateful that you kind of confess that, and so many of my clients do. But the word that I want to highlight in that is what you said there about practice. And if you're listening to this training, so often as power women, we strive for perfection, and that's great. Each day we're getting 1% better. But that word you said there, Lisa, about kind of practicing that. Mindfulness isn't about reaching necessarily a destination, but it's building that muscle, that awareness over and over again. Wait a second, I'm not fully present here. I might be, at my, my executive staff meeting, but yet my mind is wandering off thinking about my son's basketball game. Wait a minute, just bring yourself back. That mindfulness is actually that muscle to continuously bring yourself back. And then when you are at the basketball game, to be fully present at that, let go of the other thing and be fully present wherever it is that you are, even something as simple as being in the car when you're driving. And I'm not going to make you confess this one, Lisa, but when how many times have you driven somewhere, pulled in the parking lot and realized you don't remember how you got there? Mindfulness, being present right where you are, wherever that is, for better outcomes.
It's definitely a superpower. And I feel like I've been enlightened a little bit this month in January because I'm doing dry January. And I think that, in addition to doing dry January, not drinking, but also getting better sleep and being more like aware and clearer is helping me be more mindful and being more present. So all these things I feel like kind of work together. What are your thoughts on like, how do we go? Like it's easy to say, okay, I'm at my daughter's, cheer competition and I want to be present, but I've got like this disaster happening like in the background. So how do you go from chaos to calm when you have all these different things happening in your life?
Well, I know one of the pieces we're going to give to the listeners today is something I call the mindful mini poster. And this has kind of 7 practices to be a mindful leader. And, if we're going to frame up that, what is mindfulness as a she CEO, what's mindfulness as a leader, it's practicing that idea of being present and then inviting others to do the same. So one of those activities, when you do feel that chaos or that pull, is as an activity we call centering. Just taking a moment to breathe, check in with yourself, check in with your body. When is that last time that you gave yourself that gift of just 3 breaths in and 3 breaths out? And a lot of people will say, Holly, I don't have time to do that. Well, 3 breaths, it can take 15 seconds. And as a she CEO, inviting the people in your life to do that with you. Hold on, we all just came in from this meeting. We all just came in from delivering our kids at school. Wait, 3 seconds. Center yourself. And it is research based. It says that the more we do that, especially in meetings, we can actually shorten the length of meetings because we don't have that 10 or 15 minutes of nobody's actually in the room. That's one of the practices they do at Google. They have something they call a moment to arrive. And they literally, once everybody sits down in the room, somebody sets a timer for 60 seconds and just invites everybody to disconnect from your phones, takes 30 seconds, center, become present in this room. So as a she CEO, that might be something you want to integrate into your business practices, a moment to arrive.
That is brilliant. That is just like a 1-minute silent meditation before each meeting, right? That's amazing.
Well, and Lisa, I'll highlight there too. Sometimes even that word meditation can feel a little out of place, and we know that words are powerful. And so I would invite you to feel what works for your particular culture. But that's what I like about the word "a moment to arrive," is it does sort of invite everybody to play. If meditation's a hot button word for you, or mindfulness, or or for somebody on your team, that's a second. Oh wait, you just want me to take a moment to arrive? You don't have the whole buzz around a word like meditation. So yeah, I get meditation works for you and I, but in the workplace, maybe that might be something you could try.
That's an excellent point. I love that. A moment to arrive. So if you're a she CEO and you're using this strategy, a moment to arrive before a meeting, what are some other ways that you can practice being a mindful leader, whether you're a CEO of a company, a brand, your house, your life? Everybody's a CEO of something, even if it's the CEO of your own life.
Well, one of my top selling keynotes now that we're sort of back out in the world is called Sell More, Stress Less. 52 tips to be a mindful sales profession. Any leader, whatever role you're in, you're going to be selling a product or a service or an idea. And one of the strategies we like to have mindful sales professionals do is the idea of creating an intention. How do you want to put your energy in motion in the sales process? want to be generous. I want to be kind. I want to be connected. And as a she CEO, each and every day, just taking a moment. So, what do I want to be in the doing? Because I don't think any of us wake up in the morning and go, gosh, I want to be a tornado of chaos. But in the absence of doing that, the chaos happens. So we tell salespeople, we tell CEOs, each, even if it's just that moment when you're driving in the car to work or you're on the subway, maybe it's that moment you're having that cup of coffee. Who do I want to be in the doing today? Intention, again, can be one of those funny words for people. Don't get caught up in the words, get caught up in the outcomes. You know what? Today I want to be joyful. Maybe you just put the word joyful on a post-it note next to your camera and remind yourself, maybe when that decision that comes down that isn't in alignment with exactly, wait a second, how can I be joyful in this moment? In a sales scenario, right now we know the pressures, no matter what, are, get new clients, get the most out of the clients that you have. How can you, even before you start a conversation, set positivity in motion? And we teach salespeople how to do that. And it starts with setting their own intention.
I love that. And I also love choosing the right words so that they're not, maybe too woo-woo and they're more something that are general that everyone is accepting of. Some of the things that you talked about, maybe a moment to arrive, that means putting down something, like your phone, your smartphone, or shutting the laptop or turning off notifications. So what are some tips that you can give when it comes to technology and mindfulness?
Well, this is one of those areas that I've seen evolve over the 15 years I've been studying this work. And I came across a line that might support some of our participants today. And it's, be a contributor, not a guru. And I think especially as CEOs, that are disrupting things. We feel like we have to know everything all the time. And this is an area that I've had to even adapt my own contributions to the conversations. I used to be in this place of, okay, now everybody turn your phones off and have a phone basket and lock them up. And now we're all going to be calm and we're all panicking about the phone, right? And now I think it's this place to integrate mindfulness and technology. And if that supports you, explore that. There are literally hundreds of apps. It's a multi-million-dollar industry now on apps. Headspace, Happier, Calm, Insight Timer are some of my favorites. I've also been working with devices. There's a device called Focus Calm, the Aura Ring. Lisa, do you happen to have an Aura Ring?
I don't have an Aura Ring, but I did get one for my husband. I use the Fitbit for
Yep.
so many things. Yeah. So this is like the latest one, and it I'm like addicted to my heart rate analytics and, get up and move and things like that. So I just think I'm on the same page with you. I think that you need to have technology work for you, not against you. And that, if you are too black and white about it, you're going to get more stressed out.
Well, and this is the place where, again, that the crawl, walk, run strategy might work. And Lisa and I, like you mentioned, that you've been practicing, mindfulness in your own way. So you may be able to, carve out 15 minutes. But if you're new to this and you're looking at how to curate your life in a new way in 2023, maybe you take the first, week of January. I'm going to do 1 minute. I'm going to be fully present with my cup of coffee in the morning. And before I go to bed, I'm going to just, be fully present with a glass of tea at night. And you do that for 7, and then it becomes 2 minutes. And then it becomes 10. Like, don't try to cut off too many minutes all at once. Invite little moments of mindfulness. I used to joke that I was hand washing before hand washing was what it is today. But when's the last time when you washed your hands, you actually mindfully paid attention? Is the water hot? Is it cool? Is the soap foamy or not foamy? Even something that simple as a shiro, as a leader, could be a time integrated into something you're already doing, that you can work that muscle of mindfulness into something that you're already doing.
Yeah, those are some great examples. And one of the things that I'll just add, I love the app Buddhify. So that's another meditation app. And I actually just did it right before our interview here because it just kind of like sets the tone. And so they have different tracks. So the track that, and it's guided meditation. So it's called Ready, and it's a 7-minute meditation if you're preparing for what we're doing, or maybe preparing for some sort of a sports competition, or something like, public type of presentation. So it really kind of like, and I can watch my heart rate on my Fitbit to show it. Actually goes down after the 7-minute meditation. So there's like analytics that you can really watch and see that it's working.
Absolutely. And I think this is something to give yourself a permission slip to play with. This isn't supposed to be one more thing at the beginning of the year when you've set all your New Year's resolutions. That's going to be a stressful thing. As in my own business, one of the things that I do is I have a Google Doc, so I can get it in anywhere, and it's a gratitude list. And every Friday before I leave my office, I just think back on the week. What are the few things that I'm grateful for? Or maybe on a Wednesday when I'm, hanging out somewhere, I'm like, wait a second, you know what? I'm really grateful that Lisa and I were able to connect today. You don't have to write a big journal thing that I have to find wherever, but just infusing a moment of mindfulness, gratitude, positivity into your own life. I know over the weekend, the Wall Street Journal released a new study just simply on happiness, that as women leaders, we have to give ourselves permission to be happy. And when we see others happy, reward them for that happiness, and together continue to support more she CEOs in being happy with the choices that we're making, the differences that we're making, no matter if you're in the trucking industry or the baking industry, that this work transcends all of it and invites us back to that place of being human beings, not human doings.
I love that. Rewarding happiness. That is a key leadership skill when it comes to mindfulness, for sure. So a couple of things I wanted to ask you, where do you see the future of mindfulness going in the next 5 to 10 years? And then give us some homework. What can we do today? You've already gave us some quick tips, but what else can we do short term, and maybe like something that would be a little bit longer term to really work on our mindful leadership skills and that muscle?
Well, that question about the future, Lisa, is such a great one, because so much of mindfulness is rooted in new thought, ancient wisdom. That these are practices that have been around for thousands of years, and yet they are evolving into our modern 24/7 global world. That I think that the future of mindfulness is going to be um, around that normalizing of it. We know this mental health conversation, was once super taboo, is now becoming a mainstream conversation. With that, I believe mindfulness as a neuroscience secular practice will continue to be the future of mindfulness. If you talk to your kids about mindfulness, again, whether they're teens or young folks, they're learning secular practices of mindfulness, even in school, to deal with the 24/7 barrage of stress that we have, and to keep our mind and brain health in check. One of the trends that I'm excited to see in 2023, I've been reading a lot about, is visual meditations. Lisa, you referenced Buddhify and some of the audio, or what we call guided meditations, which are wonderful. But one of the new trends is the idea of a video. Some people take in their mindfulness with, a beach scene or a mountain scene. Maybe it's even people walking in a cityscape. But I think integrating even more video into this work will be the shorter term future. We're providing this program for you via Zoom. Last week, I found Thrive Global has an app even in the Zoom that you can click, and it's got a 90-second visual meditation before you jump on a Zoom call to bring you fully present there. So that's some of my thoughts on the future.
I love that. And actually, that brings me to, I want to mention another session that's going to be happening during Female Disruptors. Is we're going to be talking about positive psychology and artificial intelligence, and using visuals through AI to impact your daily positive happiness, basically. So definitely check out that session. But yeah, Holly, what can you give us for some homework? So how we can work on our muscle of being a mindful leader?
Well, I loved that. And as we were preparing for the session, I actually grabbed my book, Everyday Mindfulness, but you could do any daily inspirational reader might be a great place as a starting point. Give yourself, again, that 2 to 3 minutes, whether it's your cup of coffee or you're brushing your teeth, to take in that idea of intention setting. And this book just invites you to a daily quote, a little mini story, and that intention setting. Who do I want to be in the doing? I think that's a great place to just start. Just every day, how do I want to be in the doing? And giving yourself a little moment of reading. Some of my friends have a audio program they listen to every day in the car to just fill themselves up in the moment and be fully present. And then perhaps a more advanced practice might be taking time on one of these apps, and do schedule it. I'm going to do 5 minutes for the next 10 days, and then I'm going to add 15 minutes, and just put it into your schedule as an advanced practice. But I think more than anything, it's really reminding yourself, Lisa, you can't do mindfulness wrong. And so if you start with a daily reader or an intention setting, you advance to a little bit more of a self-care time or meditation each day, then maybe that more advanced practice, if you've been doing 1 or 2 of these things, is invite multiple practices into your day. I have one more practice I'll leave you with, which is stop, S-T-O-P. Tara Brach made this one famous, but I invite people, every time you see a stop sign, maybe you get on hold on a call, S, stop, wait a minute, stop. T, take a moment to breathe. O, observe. Like they say with our computers, our necks and our backs are so tight because we're not turning from the screen. Observe, look around, and then invite yourself to proceed from that new reconnected place. So that's some ways to think about doing a little again, the crawl, the walk, and the run of trying to bring a little more calm into a life that sometimes can be chaotic.
That's awesome advice. Thank you so much. And I love the reward happiness. I think if that could be our motto every day, that it would come back, through karma and the universe. So I love reward happiness. So Holly, thank you so much. You have shared so much wisdom. Thank you. You have any last words of wisdom before we sign off?
I think right now it's just really important that as women creating new things in the world, that you give yourself that moment of grace and gratitude for trying, and finding communities like what Lisa's curated here, that when you are having a rough day, you have a place to reach out, ask for help, find a resource, and laugh, cry, live, and grow together, so that we all just give that 1%, that 1%, that 1%. And remember that your mindfulness, just your sheer presence in the work that you're doing, is a present to the work that you are trying to create.
Holly, thank you for being a female disruptor, and I appreciate you, and I think everybody else does as well. Follow Holly connect with you on LinkedIn, anywhere else on social?
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. That's probably the best place to find me. I've got some Instagram stuff and some Facebook too, but most of my work is there, either through Leadership Solutions International, or if you're interested in this work in your own workplace, the American Mindfulness Association as well.
Great. And all of Holly's credentials will be listed in her bio. So thank you, Holly, for being a female disruptor. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.